Good evening and welcome to a very belated and rather late KUMBTV's Eyes Up Mother Brown, coming at you right at the end of full time. In fact, as I speak, the full-time whistle has just blown at the London Olympic Stadium. West Ham United securing a 2-0 win this evening, matching the score in the first game against Dinamo Zagreb. Goals coming one in each half. Declan Rice scoring for West Ham in the first half, opening the scoring after just 29 minutes. And then the second goal, doubling West Ham's win and securing the 3 points, coming from Said Benrahma in the fourth of 5 added on minutes at the end of the game, to give West Ham that relatively comfortable victory in a game that, well, I don't think will be remembered by anybody for too long, to be honest with you. It was a fairly dull and dreary affair, but West Ham achieving what they needed to do. Getting the points. Now, I will be joined very soon by a couple of our regulars on KUMB TV coming from the London Olympic Stadium. Noam and the Pink Palermo hopefully will be joining us very shortly just to have a brief discussion about what we've seen tonight. While we're waiting for them, let us know if you're watching on the live chat what you thought of the game, your man of the match, you know, your highlights. Just seeing Jeff Hurst at the game. Of course, Jeff involved in West Ham's European runs back in the 1960s. Of course, played once or twice at Wembley during that period, 3 times in 3 years. Hammers, of course, hoping to do it again this year. Now, just bear with me a second, 'cause I've just got to pop a couple of links on YouTube, on social media. I'll be right back with you in just a second. I've just got to paste this link, and then I'll be right with you. Trevor Brooking, also looking well in the stadium, watching on tonight as the Hammers secure that vital 2-0 win against what was a fairly, let's be honest, a fairly lackluster and disappointing Rapid Vienna side. No real surprise in the circumstances, given that they've only won 2 of their opening 9 league games so far this season. But good stuff. West Ham winning. That's really, all you want to do at this stage of the campaign. Pictures of Jarrod Bowen as he's coming off the pitch, looking delighted. Bowen, of course, providing the assist for Benrahma to score that second goal there for the Hammers tonight. We're just seeing pictures of the Rapid side applauding there. Rather noisy little corner of supporters tonight. There was a little bit of aggro, I suppose you might call it, in that corner. A little bit of a tete-a-tete between the away fans and the Hammers fans. In the first half, the stewards had to go in and separate the 2 corners, bottles being thrown and stuff like that. But, I guess, to be honest, if you're a Rapid fan there tonight, there wasn't an awful lot else to cheer about apart from that. So, I guess that to make the most of the occasion. West Ham, top of Europa League Group H with 2 wins out of 2 so far. Before we take a look back at the game, we're going to have a quick look at the rest of the scores happening in the Europa League this evening. I'm just adding a quick link here on the KUMB.com forum. So bear with me for just a second. So the other results earlier this afternoon, Rangers beaten again by Sparta Prague 1-0. Rangers ended the game with 10 men. Had a player sent off in the second half there. Legia Warsaw 1, Leicester City 0. Bit of a surprise coming from Poland there. Another game that took place a little bit earlier on this afternoon. The Foxes undone by Warsaw. Celtic absolutely smashed at home by Bayer Leverkusen by 4-0. Not a good night for Scotland at all in the Europa League this evening. Lyon beating Brøndby 3-0. Real Sociedad and Monaco drawing 1-1. Sturm Graz, fellow Austrians, going down 4-1 at home to PSV Eindhoven. A real humbling for the Austrians. Again, not a good night for that part of the world either. Fenerbahce beaten 3-0 at home by Olympiacos. Napoli, that's a bit of a surprise result. Napoli beaten 3-2 at home by Spartak Moscow in that encounter this evening. So 1 or 2 shocks. Royal Antwerp beaten 1-0 at home by Frankfurt. Lazio beating Lokomotiv Moscow 2-0. Marseille and Galatasaray still in still being played, that one. It's 0-0 as we look at that one. Group F, Ludogorets Radgraz beaten at home by Red Star Belgrade by 1-0. Sporting Braga 3, Danish side Midtjylland 1. Elsewhere in Group G, Celtic's group, Ferencvaros 1, Real Betis, the Spaniards 3. And the other result in Group H tonight between Genk and Dinamo Zagreb. Now, this kind of paints a picture of just how strong a result that was for West Ham, really, in the last game. Genk, of course, winning in Vienna in the last round, a last-minute winner to win 1-0 against Rapid Vienna. They've gone down at home to Dinamo Zagreb, who West Ham, of course, beat 2-0 in Croatia a fortnight ago by 3-0. So Zagreb go second in the group with 3 points from 2 games. Genk also 3 points from 2 games with a slightly inferior goal difference. Rapid Vienna losing both so far, no points. The top of the table, maximum points from 2 games. West Ham United with 2 wins, a 2-0 win in Zagreb and a 2-0 win tonight against Rapid Vienna. If you're just joining us on the stream, thanks for joining us. Good to see you all. Let us know what you thought of the game, who your man of the match was. Just looking at some of the names joining us now. Steve Palmer, how you doing, Steve? John Harrington, Connor Green, Leonard Brook, Hobo, as usual, David O'Rourke, Flavio Silva, Polaroid, all the usual gang. Good to see you, gentlemen. Let's have a look and just see who you had as man of the match. If you haven't voted yet, let us know via the live chat. Steve Palmer saying Dawson, man of the match. John Harrington agreeing. Leonard Brook also Dawson, and David O'Rourke saying Dawson was a rock. So unanimous, really, for Dawson. So fair enough, really. I mean, he had a couple of chances, didn't he, in the first half? Got up to win a couple of headers, put one against the post, and really that was the story of West Ham's first half. It sort of missed opportunities. Really, the first effort, West Ham hitting the post after just 7 minutes. It was a free kick coming from the left-hand side. Declan Rice got up early from sort of the edge of the box. He was about 14, 15 yards out, and a header that floated towards the far post and clipped the bar. The keeper well beaten on that occasion. 20 minutes later, Dawson getting on the end of a Cresswell corner and nodding the ball onto the far post. Very, very unlucky. Keeper once again beaten. Rice scoring a couple of minutes later to give West Ham the deserved lead there. Yeah, Dawson, got to agree with that, really. I think he was quite clearly the outstanding player in the team tonight. Mandy saying Johnson had a good game, fair play. Definitely had a decent game. Sean Palmer also going for Dawson. Kurt telling us that Zagreb had 2 penalties tonight. We'll be talking about that in just a moment, because West Ham, of course, conceded a penalty tonight, which fortunately was overturned, and rightly so, because it was quite clearly not a penalty, as I think we all saw. Crosshammer, just having a look at a few of your comments on the game. Crosshammer saying that was a tough game. They were hard to press, but we came through in the end. We are massive. We certainly are. And Mandy G saying, I think they surprised us given their form, because that game seemed tougher than the first game away. And I think it's a fair point, actually, Mandy. It certainly was at points. I can see him now joining us from the posh seats, it seems. Mr. Palermo, could we possibly get you to turn your camera 90 degrees so we can see you in beautiful deluxe widescreen, if possible? There he is. That's the one. That's what we're looking for. The Pink Palermo, ladies and gentlemen. He is at the London Olympic Stadium tonight. Has been there to watch West Ham's first ever Europa League tie. Pinky, good to see you, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, evening, Graham. Yeah, very happy after a fairly routine 2-0 win tonight. And I don't think at any stage we were seriously threatened. I thought hitting the woodwork 3 times showed the back.
Okay, we just seem to have lost Pinky momentarily. There, let's see if we can get him back. While we're waiting for Pinky to come back, we're also being joined by another one of our number who's at the stadium tonight. Noam is going to be with us very, very shortly. We're just seeing Carlton Cole and Joe Cole being interviewed on the TV. We seem to have lost Pinky, unfortunately, but we'll come back in a minute. Pinky, of course, rightly saying that West Ham, hit the post on 3 occasions tonight. Very, very unlucky not to add to the goal that we got early on. But of course, Said Benrahma coming up with the goods in the fourth of 5 added on minutes to put a little bit of the polish really on what wasn't a particularly great game for the Hammers, let's be honest. But I can hear him in the background. I can hear Noam. I can't see him on the screen. We've just lost Pinky. Hopefully we'll get him back very shortly. There he is. There's Gnome coming up on our screens now. Can you hear me, Gnome?
Yeah, can you hear me, Mother?
I can hear you, buddy. Can you turn yourself 90 degrees, please, so we can see you in full screen rather than just... Oh, that's better. That's better. And we've got Pinky back as well. So good to see you, gentlemen. Let me just go to Pinky first of all. I mean, you were just saying about the game there, hit the post, very unlucky, really. But was it a deserved 2-0 win in the end? Were you happy with the performance? Okay. It looks like we're having a bit of trouble getting through to Pinky right now. So the joy of live TV. Gnome also seems to have frozen right now. So it looks like it's just back to me for the minute. So, gentlemen, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Doesn't seem like it right now. But hopefully we'll get the guys on very shortly.
Are you asking me?
Yes, Pinky, there you go. Yeah, you're in and out, mate. We're having trouble getting hold of you at the moment. But yes, question to you really was
okay.
What did you make of it tonight? Was it, were you happy with the performance? Pinky, can you hear us?
Yeah, we did just enough.
Yeah,
I can. Yeah.
Okay, good
stuff. Yeah, I was happy with what I saw. Played, I thought, well within ourselves. It was a seriously depleted squad, or team rather, that we started with. Only 3 players that would normally be cast iron starters every week.
Yeah.
And I thought we did enough. And the game in this competition is win the group, then rest the players. That's what we've got. And I think the only sort of real entertainment of the night came when we scored our opening goal, and the Vienna fans forgot for a moment that we've got to go to their ground as well. And good luck with that, Austria. So,
What was, we don't really want to take the away from the game, but what was your opinion of that? We did see it on TV. They showed a little bit of crowd disturbance. A few things being thrown. Was it much more than that?
No, it's just nonsense. Inflatables or something getting chucked one across to the other. Just nonsense. And, I've got to say the choreography involved in continental football teams, it's like watching a 1980s episode of Fame. It's cheerleading and to an absurd degree. And, if they had some lederhosen on, they would have burst into Springtime for Hitler. No doubt about it. It was that sort of affair. And but no, back in terms of the football, Rice was comfortably the best player on the field tonight.
Okay.
And just no one anywhere near his standard tonight. And he was kind of playing at 3/4 pace, if you get the.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And
we're having terrible trouble with our comms tonight, as you can see. We seem to have lost Pinky again. He's coming through very, very occasionally. Gnome is trying to get on. Pinky, if you can hear me, I'll just hold you there because we've lost you, but I'll just go to Gnome very quickly. Gnome, have we got you? Can you hear us this time?
You've got me, yeah. We're on, yeah.
Excellent, good stuff. All right.
Hear me all right?
I can hear you. We're just having dreadful trouble getting you or Pinky tonight so far. So we'll just try and hang in there. Man of the match. It was interesting to hear. Everybody on the chat's gone for Craig Dawson, but people said in his opinion, being at the game, that Declan Rice was, in his opinion, by far the best player on the pitch. Who did you have down as your man of the match tonight?
Is that to me, Gray?
Yes, buddy. Yes.
Yeah. I'd go Declan.
Okay.
Yeah, Dawson had a good game.
Yeah.
But Declan was straight ahead of everyone else on there, I think.
Yeah. Good stuff.
You'll like this. Just as I left the ground, there's a DJ playing, and just so I walked past, and I'm sure it's coincidence. Bloody open this. They started playing "Build Me Up, Bloody Buttercup."
Did you break into an impromptu jig by perchance, or throw something at him?
I was looking for the nearest baseball bat to smash his grid up.
Nice. Listen, 2-0, West Ham 2,
anyway.
Austria. Rapid Vienna. Neil, pretty bog standard result. I don't think anyone would have predicted much less than a West Ham win. Well, what's your overall assessment of what you've seen tonight?
Yeah, it was an odd old game, wasn't it? First half we could have been out of sight really, and second half we got a bit complacent, and I think they'll go away thinking that they might have missed a trick in that second half. I mean, they didn't bring on their sort of main, the guy who's got all their goals, Rule.
Yes, and, that was a surprise to see him on the bench, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, and I mean, it was almost, and I've been sort of resisting the temptation to say it was almost like it meant nothing to them.
There's a joke there that's gone right over my head, that one. Sorry, I was just trying to welcome Pinky back as soon as we've got him again known. But I mean, it certainly looked that way, didn't it? I'll throw this one over to Pinky now we've got him. But Pinky, no was just saying there that we stuttered a bit, didn't we, in that second half. They looked like coming back into the game. Got the penalty, which was. Let's talk about that actually quickly. What was your view of that from the stands? Was it as clear to you at the game as it was to us watching on TV that it was a deliberate dive by the Rapid player?
Yeah, never. Probably not BBC free. Yeah. Never ever a penalty. Never in a million years.
No.
Yeah, never worried about it even slightly. And but that's always the risk when you're only 1-0 up. That's the chance you take, and that's why you can see David Moyes quite anxious for quite a bit of the second half. And I think his thought process, as well as it being a planned substitution, on the hour when he made the changes.
Yeah.
But I think in particular, a bit of extra energy from Jared Bowen, in a bit of industry there. Pablo Forna's come on, that little bit of class, just enough to kill the game off. And, ultimately, far better team than Rapid Vienna, far better team. And, let's not do ourselves short here tonight. It's 2 games in Europe, 2 comfortable victories, 1 away, 1 at home. We're the team to beat in this group, that is no doubt. And what we're seeing so far, I don't think anyone's getting anywhere near us. Really professional job, good squad management. I take it there's an England international coming up. Yeah, hence why Rice gets the full 90 minutes tonight, because why should West Ham United rest Declan Rice only then to give benefit to Gareth Southgate? So well done to David Moyes. He lets the home supporters see our star player. So for my money, brilliant squad management by Moyes tonight. Competent rather than dynamic performance by the team. Just to go back to Craig Dawson, I know a lot of people are saying, he's outstanding and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Outstanding against Fulham. Okay. Keep factoring in the calibre of the opposition here. And had he scored the 2 sort of clean headers that he's had, I think he had 2 of the headers. Yeah. That would have been outstanding.
Okay.
Let's call it what they were. They were misses. 3 headers, 6 yards out. You've got to hit the target. So for me, Dawson can't be man of the match. Rice, on the other hand, kept running, was creating the space, and was there to tap it in. That's the difference.
Okay, good stuff. Pinky suggested. I think we might have lost Noam. Noam, you're back. You're okay, you're good. I mean, Pinky just suggesting there that it was really good team management by David Moyes. Were you happy with the team that he started with tonight and with the subsequent substitutions?
We tend to trust him at the moment these days. I think the team I was expecting, not that I have anything against the one we put out. I was looking at perhaps putting out something more akin to what we did against Zagreb. But, as you say, first off, we should have been outside.
Yeah, plenty of chances in that in that first half. We said hitting the bar on a couple of occasions, but I mean, Pinky, did you ever think that we might sort of blow it there in the second half? Obviously, they got that penalty, had that little spell, didn't they? 10, 15 minutes after the substitutions where we looked to see a bit. But I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, it was good to see. 15 minutes to go, Pablo Fornals came on, and it was a wonderful little cameo from the Spaniard. Of course, had that effort near the end. Might have even had the chance to score if Ben Rama hadn't nicked it off his feet. But I think Noam's still talking. I don't know if he's, are you? Can you hear me, Noam?
He's pushing things.
All right. No, I'm sorry. I'm just going to pop you on mute because we're having real trouble hearing you. And I'll come back to you in just a second, buddy, if I may. But yeah, Pinky, just throwing that one over to you. Pablo Fornals, only saw him for 15 minutes, but very appreciated by the crowd tonight, wasn't he? Everyone seemed really happy when he came on.
Very rapidly turning into a fan's favourite within West Ham United, and because he never stops running. And what do we love at West Ham? We love a bit of flair and all the rest of it. We always have done.
Yeah.
But we love players that give everything. More than anything, players that give us every ounce of energy they've got. And that's why the players like Fornals, Bowen, Rice, that's why they're loved by the supporters, because they leave nothing out there. They give it all they've got, and that's all we can ask. And tonight, wasn't worried in the second half, not really, because we've spoken about this before. It's the best bench we've had in many a long year.
Yeah.
So we could field, a second string for most of the night, and then just to bring on players of the calibre of Souček, Bowen and Fornals.
Yeah.
But when have we ever had that luxury before?
Yeah.
When we're a goal up in any competition. It's never happened. So tonight he's brought them on. We had more than enough to see this lot off. And I'll credit Rapid Vienna a little bit here tonight. They didn't come and park the bus. They were well organised, you expect that. But they tried the best they could to try and get a goal. They tried to move forward. But there was long periods in the first half when we were just camping in their half.
Yeah, it was definitely like that, wasn't it? I mean, it was a very, very one-sided first half. But I don't know. Was there something missing for you there tonight? I mean, I think the atmosphere was good. It was obviously our first Europa League game, but it just seemed a bit like a sort of pre-season fare in a sense, where there didn't seem to be that much urgency from either team.
And that's why I keep referencing the calibre of the opposition, Graham.
Yeah, fair enough.
They've tried their best, Rapid Vienna, and it wasn't good enough. West Ham United didn't have to try our best tonight. We just had to try enough and do enough. And the difference is David Moyes could send a team out and say, just win the game, lads, that's all we need to do.
Yeah.
Whereas the Austrian manager, it's try and stay in the game, lads, for as long as you can and nick a goal. It's just a different in standard. That's all it is. From goalkeeper to striker, we were better all over the pitch, every position. And as I say, 8 of the starters tonight wouldn't normally start in a Premier League game. Certainly 7 of them. So very, very happy with what I've seen tonight. Good stuff. And a quick comment on the crowd size.
Yeah.
I don't know what the official number is, but it looked to me about 55,000.
Yeah.
And hats off to every supporter again who's made the journey. Come in, it's midweek, it's on the telly. They want to see West Ham United compete in this competition. And it's important that people come along for the simple reason. It sends the chairman a message. The supporters value this competition. So let's not be having, is it worth it sort of nonsense coming out of anyone's mouth. Yeah. This is a competition. The supporters of this football club have waited decades to feature in Europe. Yeah. And I'm delighted so many came along tonight. Good stuff tonight.
Yeah, it was a really good crowd, actually. I was quite surprised how busy the stadium was. I mean, of course, we've mentioned them already, back with us now, but What did you make of the away contingent tonight? I mean, they were quite noisy, weren't they? But as Pinky was saying earlier, I mean, it was all quite orchestrated and all a little bit bizarre, really, as far as us English fans are concerned, I think.
It reminded me of, I mean, I think they might have been sort of confused by the light show or something, because it reminded me of loads of middle-aged women waving their hands in the way they do at a taped actor, looking at real musicians, you know.
Nice.
And as it happens, there was a group of about, I'd say, 20, 30 of them up in our stand, on the west stand,
right.
who about sort of halfway through the second half got up and started doing the sort of synchronized clapping stuff and all that. It didn't last very long, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
They were told in no uncertain terms to sit down and shut up. And that was the polite version.
Presumably not by the stewards.
They did. The stewards. I mean, you know, there's got to be questions asked as to. You see them from a mile off because they're from the green, and you know, it was they shouldn't have been there in the first place. But the stewards did nothing. But it was kind of, just for this way, the response from those around them suggested to them that it might be a good idea if they did sit down and shut up, and they did. So
fair enough.
But
of course, I mean, I was going to say, you know, that's obviously an ongoing issue, isn't it? The away fans in the home sections of the ground, and clearly still a problem tonight. But there it is, West Ham United 2, Rapid Vienna 0. Pinky, let's just quickly go back to the first goal. Declan Rice opening the scoring on the 29th minute. It was a Yarmolenko ball out wide to Antonio, low cross, and a great finish by Declan in the end. But he's becoming quite prolific, isn't he, of late, young Rice?
Yeah, I mean, 2 European games and 2 European goals.
Yeah,
and you know, we've got to say that he is an undoubted superstar we've got in the books at the minute. But I have to say, Pablo Fornals is turning to a super player. So he isn't the only good player we've got, but you know, he gets it through hard work, you know, industry, effort, keeping running when other players stop running, and you get the opportunity. And that's a sign of good coaching, good habits. And the only concern with Declan tonight is he'll go off on England duty now. I've just got a bit of a theory forming in my head that Southgate asked him to play slightly differently. He asked him to play more as a traditional, deep sitting midfielder. And tonight we've seen Rice getting forward as and when he needs to. I think he'll come back from England duty, and we'll see him a little bit confused as to what his role is for the first game back, because that's what happened last time. And I just think there's something for the coaching staff to look out for. When he comes back from England duty, remind him, never mind what Gareth Southgate tells him to do. We all know he doesn't know what he's doing, because you know, he's let Antonio slip away from him. He hasn't even given Gerard Bowen a chance. So you know, there's some very good footballers Southgate is not properly evaluating, in my view. And you know, tell me why Harry Kane just gets an automatic selection every single time. When Mikel Antonio had to basically say, well, I'm up in sticks, I'm going to go and play for Jamaica. Because Antonio, as the form player, was it in the Premier League? 4 goals in 5 or 5 goals in 6, something like that. You know, he's on a hot streak. So, so for my money, Rice got his goal tonight because he works hard. You know, there's no secret to it. You keep running when your opponent stops, you'll get the space, you'll get the opportunity. So hats off to him. And who's up next? Is it Genk in this competition?
We play Genk home and away, in the next 2 games. We're at home, aren't we, in a couple of weeks, and then we're off to Belgium after that. And of course, I don't know if did you see the result in the other game tonight? I don't know if you saw the score, but Genk went down 3-0 at home to Zagreb tonight. As I was saying on the intro to the show, that's really, you know, an indication of how good that performance was by us in Croatia a fortnight ago.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know that really set the scene for the competition.
Yeah.
But I think we commented that night how good our comms were between Zagreb
Yes.
and our global audience. And here I am in the London Stadium, and I can barely get a signal. Okay?
It's dreadful. Honestly, it's unbelievable. It was so much better.
Hang on. If you actually saw the full Karen Brady video, it said world-class stadium in a world-class team with dodgy Wi-Fi.
Yes.
That's really what's it's rubbish. London Stadium, sort it out.
Yeah, it is not just simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. Anyone who would have been watched the post-match chat a couple of weeks ago would have seen Pinky coming through in perfect Technicolor from Croatia. Yet tonight, here we are, just up the road, and we're struggling to get them. But we're glad we've got you anyway, Pinky. But
and dare I say, thank you very much on the edited version of the show that you edited out exactly how I got that connection. Cover up the evidence with a neat edit. I like that.
Yes, it took a bit of work, that one, but we got there in the end. Second goal, Noam, I'll throw this one over to you, if I may. It came, we thought that was it. We thought it was going to finish 1-0. Literally 60 seconds or so left. Bowen with the assist, put the ball across. It looked like Fornals was going to take it at first, but Said Benrahma kind of nicked in, didn't he, and took it off his toe. And, was given open space. Finished with, I think they call it a plomb, just curling the ball into the far post.
Yeah, just passed it in, didn't he? I mean, the gap was there. You could have driven an HGV through it if you could find a driver. And, it was there. I didn't think he had the greatest against David Rama, but the finish was superb. I haven't seen that. Actually, I have seen it again because I did manage to get it up on my music player.
Honestly.
It was, fine finish.
Nice finish.
Going through the stop-go board, based on the first half and chunks of the second, I think 2-0 is a fair reflection. I think it could have been so much more if we'd really sort of taken it to them in the second half. But I think we just got a little bit complacent, a little bit not sloppy as such, but resting on laurels and sitting back a little bit. I hope the non-penalty might have stir things up a little bit, but fair play to the manager. He did try and freshen things up a bit, and Bowen nearly made a couple of things happen. But it's not 2.5 cheers. I mean 3 cheers for the 3 points and all that. But I'm going home happy, obviously.
Well, of course we are. I mean, everyone is. It's
top of the group by miles.
Yeah. 6 points from 2 games. Certainly can't argue with that, can we? But so it's Genk, of course, as we were just saying there. It's Genk home and away in the next 2 games. The Belgians visiting the London Olympic Stadium in our next.
Did you say they lost to Zagreb?
They went down 3-0 at home to Zagreb tonight. Couple of penalties, I believe, for the Croatians. So, as I was just saying to Pinky, it gives you some measure of how good that performance was, in Croatia the other night. But so 2-0, West Ham top of the group, 6 points, maximum points from the first 2 games in the Europa League. No, what are we going to need to qualify? Is I guess if we beat next week, we're then going to Belgium thinking that one more win and we can't really be caught, can we? If we were to get on to 12.
Looking at the other teams, I think 2 more wins. Should be enough, I think. What we got after that, Vienna away and Zagreb at home. Neither of those so far have given me too much cause for sleep this night. Yeah,
no, that's true. Totally agree. Okay. Well, look, we're gonna wrap up fairly soon because you guys are on the way home. You're not. You haven't got the luxury of sitting in a comfortable office as I have right now. So we're going to just go on to the weekend's game. Brentford at home Last game before the next international break. Last chance for the Hammers to put some more points on the table before everyone goes off to their respective international games. But not just about football, is it, Pinky? It is all about football this weekend, but not just about the match. There's an event taking place before the game. Hammers United are, of course, staging their latest protest march ahead of the game. And it's been an interesting reaction from the fan base to this one. What's your view on it? Are you going to be there? And, do you think it's a good idea to go ahead with it as things stand?
Yes, I'll be there because you have to stand for what you believe in, and if you're going to be swayed by things as come and go as results, you've lost your moral footprint or your standing. Let's not kid ourselves here. Yeah, we've had a good night here tonight, but can you imagine tonight in the bowling ground? Different gravy for sure. And the owners of the club, they have made some serious errors in their relationships with the club supporters.
Yeah,
they must know it. We've told them it often enough, and even now they will not engage. And that's the key phrase there, the key word. They won't engage in a meaningful way with the club supporters. And so much of what they do is just window dressing and paying lip service.
Yeah.
And for my money, I find it utterly distasteful that they're constantly talking about selling the club for a huge amount of money. Why should they make a fortune off the back of West Ham United, having put relatively little money into the club? And that's what I find distasteful. I think it's wrong. I'd like to see them gone. I'd like to see them gone with, I don't mind a modest return, not hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds. I think it's one of the things that's gone horribly wrong in the game of football is, frankly, chances buying clubs that are down on the luck at a brief moment in time, and then turning it into a fortune. I mean, could David Sullivan even spend the money? Let's say he got £500 million for West Ham. Could he spend it? So why not accept the fact?
We seem to
for a modest price, and off you go.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. I've got to ask you, Pinky. We've always sort of maintained that our fan base is something special, but been a lot of accusations that those who are against the march are being fickle. Thoroughly behind it when the team are in trouble. Now things are looking a little bit better on the pitch. The support seems to have ebbed away a little bit. What's your view on those particular fans?
My view is every single supporter is entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. And my opinion, will be different to somebody else's. It isn't for me to tell any other supporter what to do or how to behave or what to believe in. This is a matter of personal conscience.
Yeah.
And if you feel that these owners have basically turned us over and actually robbed the club of so much of its history, heritage, just identity, West Ham United. If you feel that's what they've done, then I think those people will be at the march, the protest on Saturday. Okay. If those things don't particularly bother you, or you don't feel that they have, then you won't be. But it's a thing for an individual to make their decision. And I'm certainly not going to call out any supporter for having their own opinion. They're entitled to their own opinion, same as me.
Yeah. Okay. No, I should say I wasn't asking anyone to call them out. I just found it very interesting that, and I'll put this one to Noam now because he seems to have lost a lot of light actually over there. I hope you're not going down the back alleys of Stratford, Noam. But
I've got to make a living.
well, times are hard. 9,000 people were there in February last year. I think it's fair to say that it's unlikely those numbers are going to be matched this weekend. But you've heard what Pinky's had to say about it. Slightly disappointed, that a lot of people who were there last year have got no intention of being there this year. And of course, are you going to be there this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be there because I don't think anything's changed
Yeah.
from the time I was last there. So my reasons for going last time were pretty much that Republic record. Has everything changed? No. So I'll be there. Thing was though, we had I think 9,000 say last time.
Yeah.
And there were probably 9,000 different reasons for people being there.
Yes.
Now, as people said, if you went last time, you think things have changed, then will it listen to the argument?
Okay. All right.
As people said, people have their own reasons for being there last time. People have their own reasons for either being there or not being there this time. I don't think it's being particularly well run by those people. Since then we've had things like appointing other halves as directors so you can get them into the game. On their own admission, we're 150 minutes.
Yeah.
I personally am.
Okay, fair enough. No, it's a good point. It's a good point because I mean it's been a debate that's been raging on the KUMB forum all week, which is why I bring it up now. I mean, I should stress that I won't be there Sunday, so I'm certainly in no position to criticise anybody. Unfortunately, I have other plans for this weekend. But as we know, things haven't particularly changed an awful lot off the pitch. It doesn't seem, but certainly has on the pitch. So for that, I guess we can be grateful at least. Let's turn our attention finally to the game, which will be taking place this Sunday afternoon. Noam, I'll start with you on this one. Difficult task this one's going to be. I think Brentford. They had a decent start, haven't they? They've won one of their 3 away games. In fact, I think they're unbeaten away from home this season, won 1 and drawn 2 so far. They're in going to the game 9th in the table, just 2 points behind the Hammers. So just see this one going.
Good game. I think they're very adept at adapting their game to their opponents. So when they beat Arsenal, they played 3-1 particular way, and then they came up against Liverpool and they should play slightly differently. They have an owner who seems to run things pretty well there. Having taken over from years back. It's going to be a good game. I think we might even have to settle for a draw this time round.
Oh, that's interesting. Lacking your usual confidence there.
No, we might have to settle for a draw. To be honest, I still might. My thoughts are still going for it. I'm still a bit to win. A draw wouldn't surprise me that way.
Okay.
So, I mean, from what I've seen of them, they've got players who know their systems and they're drilled very well.
Yep.
They're a bit like us, I suppose. So, I think first goal is going to be quite important on Sunday. Go from there.
Okay.
As I say, I mean, they've always sort of been. Nobody's really taken them to task, have they, so far this season?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Not really. I mean, even when they've lost, it's been quite close, hasn't it? So in a way, that's one reason I wasn't too upset to see Antonio come off relatively early in the game today because he'll be relishing a game against them, I think. So,
okay, good stuff.
Looking forward to it. Anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Pinky, Brentford at home this Sunday. The results so far beat Arsenal 2-0. Really set the standard, didn't they?
Who doesn't beat Arsenal 2-0?
Fair point. Drew 0-0 at Palace. Palace have also had some decent results. Went to Aston Villa, drew 1-1. Lost 1-0 at home to Brighton, which is the only sort of black mark really in their record so far. 2-0 win at Wolves, and then that thrilling 3-3 draw at home to Liverpool in their last out. What's your view on this weekend? Brentford, could they be the first team to beat West Ham at home since about a week ago. I was going to say it's like since Everton, but of course we lost last week, didn't we? I just remembered as I was picking that one up.
Could they beat us? Yeah, they could.
Yeah,
they could. Every season a team comes up for the championship. There's a bit of a wild card, a bit of a surprise package.
yeah.
And they've got in Tommy, a player that is a real. He makes the difference, if you know what I mean.
Yes, he does.
And so for me, he will not be at Brentford next season. Let's be absolutely clear about that. Somebody is going to write the check. They'll look at him, because how often do we see? You see a player who's very good in the Championship, but then never quite does it in the Premier League. Thus far, he looks very good indeed in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And somebody, well, hopefully not a million miles away from where I'm sitting right now, will actually say, yeah, he's good enough. Here's 50 or 60 million quid, Brentford, because you'll need the money when you're back in the Championship, and the player doesn't want to play there again. And dare I say it, maybe a Part X with a player that we've already got on our books.
There was a lot of talk, of course, of West Ham being interested in the summer. Barry Fry, I think, was constantly on the news wires telling everyone who would listen that West Ham had been asking him about whether he was available and whether he'd be worth going for. But I think he's a West Ham player. Got a bit of that about him.
I think we have to look forward to, we're short of options up front, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And Michael Antonio, Mickey Antonio ain't getting any younger. I think he's been brilliant for us, Antonio. But Tommy looks to me like the real deal. And, and I know people reference Seb Hallow and, he's having a bit of a renaissance at Ajax and, if only he'd had a chance and so forth. Listen, I'd get a game for Ajax at the minute and I'll score. Yeah. The Premier League, I think, is a much higher standard than the Dutch League. And for my money, Tommy, he's going to be the next player that Brentford sell for serious money. They've got a business model that's working very well for them. Good luck to them. I'm not sure their supporters will be all that happy with that, because eventually you say, when you've hit the big time, you want to stay there.
Yeah.
And I think what we'll see from Brentford is a classic first half of the season. They'll be competitive. They'll be mid-table-ish maybe. And in the second half of the season, they'll end up just clinging on and probably finishing 15th or 16th, something like that. But nervously looking at the drop zone. So I think I'm looking forward to seeing them play. It's a great story for them. It's a great story for their supporters. And sometimes when you're in the money league as we are, season after season, and I don't buy all this nonsense about us being the yo-yo club. We're not. We're rarely out of the top flight. A club like Brentford that's waited 80 years to get into the top flight, something like that. And you look at it and you say, for their supporters, I hope they come in their droves. I hope they turn up at our place, thousands of them. I hope they have a great day, and I hope we stuff them 5-0.
We'll take that, wouldn't we? Great. Okay, good stuff. Well, look, we're going to leave it there, gentlemen, because I know you guys have got homes to get to. It's finished West Ham United 2, Rapid Vienna 0 tonight in the Europa League. West Ham maximum points, 6 out of 6 from their first 2 games. As Noam and I were discussing a little while ago, looks like we've got 2 games against Kent in the next 2 matches, which you think if we can win those, we're going to be pretty much assured of going through to the next stage. But anyway, good night for West Ham. Pinky, first of all, final word on what you've seen tonight.
Final word on what I've seen tonight. I'm very, very happy with what I've seen tonight. Comfortable win for West Ham United. We topped the group. We've done the job, and great squad management by the manager. I also want a final word on the protest on Sunday from A, Graham.
Of course.
It is a matter of individual choice.
Yep.
But what I would say is, speak now or forever hold our peace. Because if we send the wrong signal to the owners now, well, who knows? Yeah. And I'd rather send the right signal to the owners and say, it's time to go.
Okay. Noam, if you can hear us, thank you, Pinky. Noam, if you can hear us, final word on this evening, please.
Happy with the result. Thought the second half performance could have been a little better, but ultimately you can't complain. 2-0. Yeah, happy with that. And those who are going to be there on Sunday, I'll see you there Sunday. Come along and say hello. Unless I owe you money.
There you go. That's it from this evening's stream. Sorry it was a shorter one tonight, but we were slightly lacking in numbers, but we managed to get here anyway for a bit of a post-match discussion. My thanks going out to Noam and to Pinky for joining us live as they make their way home for the stadium. Oh, well, Pinky, still clearly enjoying the hospitality, and Les is taking that picture of Julian Dix behind him with him. But lovely to see you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll get you in again at the weekend for a bit of a chat after Brentford. It has finished, as I said, West Ham United 2, Rapid Vienna 0. The Hammers topping Group H. Perfect start so far. 4 goals for, none against. Couldn't go any better, really, could it? Great stuff. Until next time, come on, you Irons.
Night all.